Hi, boys and girls. For our Bible lesson today, we're going to talk more about the armor of God. We've learned that we have to put on the belt of truth, and that we've also learned that we have to put on the breastplate of righteousness. And now we're on to that third piece of armor, and today that are going to be the shoes of peace. So when you go outside, when you have to leave the house and you need to go to the grocery store, do you have to put on shoes? Yes. Why do you have to put on shoes? Sometimes we don't want to put on shoes because we like to be barefoot. I like to be barefoot. But why do we have to put on shoes? We have to put on shoes so that it will help to protect our feet. So these, I've showed you this before with this same picture. This Roman soldier, when he would go out, you can see it right here. It would be kind of looking like a sandal, but they would be really thick leather. And they would have to put that on because if the enemy was throwing something that could harm this soldier and it hit that foot, then they couldn't walk anywhere because their foot would be really hurt and then they would be hurt. And so they had to protect their feet so that they could be ready for running away from the enemy or ready for going into the combat, the war. And so the shoes were very important for the soldier, just like the breastplate was important to protect the chest and the heart and all the organs. The shoes were there to protect their feet. So for our lesson today, to put on the shoes of peace, how do we do that? That seems kind of tricky, huh? So the shoes of peace mean that we believe in Jesus. We learned a lot about Jesus this year. And so there is something called the ABCs of believing in Jesus. So I have it written right here. So the A stands for accept. So boys and girls, we learned about Jesus, and we know that Jesus was the bridge that took us over to God because we were sinners and God is not a sinner, and we couldn't cross that gap over to God without Jesus. And so we have to accept that we are a sinner, that we do things that are wrong. And we try not to do things that are wrong, but we still do. And so we need to accept that we're a sinner. And so then the B on this stands for believe. So we learned about how Jesus was our bridge over to God. So we have to believe that Jesus died on the cross for our sins to take away our sins from us. Because boys and girls, if Jesus had never died on the cross for our sins, we would still be in our sin and we would die. One day when we die, we would die in our sin. And so Jesus came to take that all away from us. And so the B stands for believe. Believe that Jesus did that for us. And then C means to confess. Confess means to just like tell someone, and to tell someone you did something wrong. So if you sinned and maybe you took something that wasn't yours, you could go confess to that person and say, I'm so sorry that I took your thing. Please, here, take it back. But in this case, the confess means that we need to confess to God that that we've sinned, that we've done something wrong, and that we are going to do better the next time. We're going to try. And sometimes we'll still sin, but every time that we sin, we need to confess that we've done that and we've done that wrong. And so if we do those three things, then Jesus lives in our heart and we have Jesus with us. Now, how does that have to do with the shoes of peace? Well, the shoes are on our feet, and our feet take us places. And so we have this great news that we need to tell everyone about. And we need to put on those shoes so we're ready to go tell everyone about the good news of Jesus. And so those shoes help to remind us that we need to not just keep this good news to ourselves, but we need to go tell others. Because boys and girls, there's people who've never heard about Jesus or God. They have been born and they've never heard about it. And so they need people like us to go tell people like them so they can hear the good news and they can be part of God's kingdom too. All right, boys and girls, have a great day.